to Feel Better Eating. This is a whole food plant-based experience that has the intention of educating you about the health benefits of eating certain plant products, inspiring you to try new dishes, and Catherine, have fun in the kitchen. Today we're building on the running theme on this show is making sweet, healthy treats that both taste delicious but do not come with the adverse side effects of eating tasty treats. It's a certified banger. I'm really excited for you to try it. I'm Joshua, this is my wonderful wife and co-host Catherine, and we're excited to be here. Appreciate you spending time here, the live audience in Michigan City, Indiana, and the people watching on YouTube. We appreciate you. Catherine, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you, Joshua. I am so grateful to be here today to share this recipe. I was so eager to try this recipe that I made me and Joshua a full batch at home, and it was so delicious. And we are so excited to show you how easy it is to incorporate vegetables into a sweet treat. You're not going to even know it's there, and it's going to be moreish, as Joshua would describe.
Yeah,
you just want to keep eating them. So today we're making our veggie donuts. And the batter that we're making today could be just made into muffins or into a bread, but we like the idea of making them into fun donut shapes because they're easy to eat. Cute. And when you're making them for a family and you say, oh, this is a donut, it could encourage kids or other people that are used to the traditional donut to embrace a donut like this instead, the healthier version of it.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to start off with the dry ingredients. We're just going to put them in
that makes it easier.
Makes it easier. Even though the recipe starts with wet ingredients, we'll do dry ingredients. So first up, we're going to have 1.5 cups of oat flour or gluten-free flour.
Yeah, so we have a gluten-free flour here.
This is all-purpose. I'm going to bang that in there.
We're doing 1.5 cups.
Shall I do eyeballed half or legit half?
Let's do a legit
half. Dang.
Because if you remember, baking is a science, and you want to be exact as possible with baking, because if you're not, then you can end up having to overcompensate with other ingredients.
The sound bowl's back, isn't it?
I like the glass bowl because you can see what's going on.
Oh, you need that, yeah.
Okay.
Next, we're going to have a tablespoon of baking soda and baking powder. This is going to help it rise and make sure that they fluff up into really soft donuts, not flat.
Yeah.
Very standard stuff in there. We're then going to add cacao powder, which we've used many times on the show. Lots of health benefits in here, essential minerals and nutrients, and of course, tasty. So we're going to go for 1/3 of a cup of this. And Catherine's mixing in that baking soda and baking powder. You don't want to get clumps of that because it will be not
very
good
unpleasant
in a donut if you've got a clump of baking soda. So 1/3 cup of that.
Give that mix.
Easy peasy. And then
a little bit of salt.
And as we've touched on many times, you want to choose good salt. Is this a fresh one or is this?
No, that's good.
Oh, there we go.
So about 1/4 teaspoon.
About a sprinkling.
That's about 1/4 teaspoon.
And this is just Morton's sea salt, the fine version. So that's the dry ingredients. Super easy.
It's just like any other baking recipe.
Any other baking recipe. Now,
the fun part.
We're going to go into the wet ingredients.
Where do you want to move this?
Yeah, we can put it over here for a minute if you want.
Alright.
And we're going to start off with a zucchini or a courgette if you're in Europe. We obviously have to call it something different.
What's it called here?
A courgette.
Yeah, it sounds like Corvette, doesn't it? Anyway.
It's a French word. But we'll call it zucchini for the sake of ease here today. We're going to start off, I've just chopped this, the skin's still on, and we're going to be banging that in there. Zucchini does get used in various sweet recipes.
Yeah, like zucchini bread. We've used them before when we made zucchini pancakes. Joshua made them, if you guys remember that show.
I forgot about that show.
Yeah, so we've used them before as a sweet treat. And we've also used carrots as in our sweet treats. We've made those raw carrot cupcakes, and what's wrong with them?
No, it's just it looks a bit wet, but they're good.
Okay, so we're going to be using baby carrots today because they're already prepared, so it is easy to have them just ready. Why are they greasy like that?
It's just a bit wet. They smell
Maybe they were frozen.
I think they were frozen before.
They look
defrosted.
That's weird.
We're going for a cup of that. Bosh. What else, Catherine?
And then we're going to do a cup of spinach.
Spinach.
So this is ridiculous. Seeing zucchini, carrots, and spinach go into a food processor when we're talking about donuts, but you guys are going to be so surprised how well hidden these become soon after we add the rest of the ingredients.
Looks like about a cup.
This is why I love this recipe, because you're adding all of these extra ingredients of healthy ingredients that you're not going to even know it's there.
And
so
you usually associate with a donut, right?
And you increase your intake of vegetables while eating a sweet treat.
It's the best. We've got banana going in there.
When I was originally researching this recipe, some people said they didn't want to use banana, so you could use a cup of applesauce instead. Or
why didn't they want bananas? What's wrong with
some
them?
people are deathly allergic to bananas.
Deathly?
Some people are allergic to bananas or make them very uncomfortably sick. Yeah.
I've never heard
Some
of that.
people get really sick.
We'll have to fact check that. Now, an addition for this show that we've never used before, we're actually
Never before seen on this show, we're actually using eggs. We got permission to use eggs on today's show because when I did my research, plant-based doesn't necessarily mean that you can't use eggs or animal byproducts. And so since we've started eating eggs again, I wanted to be able to use eggs again on this show because I believe that farm fresh eggs are very healthy for you. These are eggs that are, I brought 2 different colors so you know that these are farm fresh eggs from a local farm for us in Niles. Yeah, thank you, Randy. Randy has gone out of his way to provide affordable and healthy eggs for his community. And farm fresh eggs generally have more vitamins and nutrients than store-bought eggs. Farm fresh eggs have less cholesterol in them and they're higher in nutrient content. People think they're richer and they taste better, and I agree.
They're also cheaper as well. Significantly cheaper now than the store, which is another double.
And when you get the yolks out, then you can see that these yolks are so bright and yellow, and we've seen ones from store-bought eggs that are just so pale, and that's because the nutrients just aren't there.
If you notice too, the healthier eggs, they're harder to break.
Yeah.
They are,
Yeah, I agree.
They're difficult fed, I call them,
Yeah.
So we're adding eggs because of the health benefits of them, and because in baking, we've mitigated them before with a flax egg, but there really is nothing that replaces an egg with baking.
I think you could do this with the flax egg.
It could. It just
really
I don't think it
wanted to.
would rise the same.
No, I don't.
And it wouldn't hold the same.
I'm all about eggs. Gotta get them in there. Full amino acids, lots of selenium. I always get that one wrong, but lots of good stuff. Next up, we're going to be having avocado oil. We're going to be putting a 1/4 cup of this in. Why are we putting that in, Catherine?
So usually we use a coconut oil, but the recipe used an avocado oil, so I wanted to take this opportunity to use avocado oil. Avocado oil does have a distinct taste to it, but it's not as overwhelming as using an olive oil in this recipe. And it has the unique health benefits of eating an avocado, but just in oil form. If you watch videos on how avocado oil is made, it's essentially made from mashed avocados drying at room temperature over time and then being squeezed to extract the oil. So I am a fan of avocado oil, and I think that this is a great way to incorporate it into a recipe like this.
Yeah. For sweetener, we're going to be using maple syrup. The ones that we made yesterday were actually made with honey, also from Randy. I believe it's Randy's son. Local honey is always the best. But maple syrup is not a bad substitution. You could really use either. And I don't know, when I opened that, I thought I was going to take a swig.
Did you really?
I did, yeah. But I didn't. So we're going to be putting a 1/3 cup of that in, which isn't actually that much sweetener, really. But there's going to be enough sweetness in there through
I think she said that
the banana.
about coconut milk.
Oh, so that's a great question. And yesterday when we were making them together, we were so in the groove of it. And then once they were in the oven, I was like, oh my gosh, we forgot to add coconut milk to it. But the batter was so creamy and liquidy that I felt like it didn't need it. It felt like it was extra. So we're not going to incorporate the coconut milk today because it seemed like it was too much extra liquid.
And the recipe is proven without it, so if we make it with it and then it doesn't work,
then we'll be
drinks
fuming.
down the toilet. So you're not gonna add that, but what we are gonna add is vanilla extract for both flavour and the natural antidepressant effect. And look at that, you wouldn't think that that's gonna turn into donuts.
No, you wouldn't. And the thing is that this is the basic ingredients that you would put in the wet ingredients for a sweet treat is eggs, vanilla, some sort of oil. So instead of butter, we're using the avocado oil, and we're just adding extra vegetables. The zucchini's gonna, and eggs. The zucchinis and the carrots are actually gonna add a lot of liquid to this, which is why I think that the coconut milk maybe is a bit overdone. But if you notice that your batter is a bit dry towards the end, then maybe you can go back and add a little bit of coconut milk.
Oh, now.
Oh, you got it for a second. Oh, you got it!
Just ram it.
Okay.
Just ram it.
So we'll blend this till it's nice
Do you
and
want to spin it
smooth.
so they can see the thing?
Oh, sure.
There you go. It's way easier to see, isn't it?
Yeah. So quiet, too.
Well, relatively.
So we'll scrape to make sure that things
The
are...
spinach sometimes gets stuck.
But do you see how liquidy it is? And we didn't even add that much
amazing, isn't it,
liquid
really?
in there. It's those zucchinis and carrots that hold so
Yeah.
much extra
There's one
liquid.
stubborn zucchini keeps running around.
You know, that
Oh,
happened to
happened
us yesterday
yesterday,
too.
yeah.
I don't know what that is.
The
We'll try
refusal to be blended.
to push him around.
I like that because it's quieter.
Oh, way quieter. That
Oh,
last
it's
one
so
we had was
much quieter.
hellacious.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, I like this one.
It's still off center though. I don't get that.
It's
Why
this.
it's doing that.
There we go. I got it.
Nice.
Feel good?
Yeah, I think that's what it looked like yesterday. So in the video that I originally watched of it, it was like completely pureed. You didn't see any of those green and orange chunks. But this is how we had it yesterday, and it's really not that gritty as it looks. So
Delicious.
I don't know. Like I've always said, I don't know how other people make the Vitamix look so
You get catfish, don't they? That's
useful, like so useful. But for me, the
why.
Vitamix
Instagram recipe
is
catfish.
just
What should that?
not good.
Instafished.
Insta-fished.
Right. So now all it is a case of mixing the wet
Mixing.
with the dry.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. So I'm gonna take this out.
The banana adds a lot of liquid, I think, as well too. There's a lot of hidden liquid in bananas.
It's liquid.
With moisture.
I cannot believe how wet it is. You know,
I know, it's
It looked
crazy
like that
how
was gonna happen, did it?
it's
No,
just
it didn't.
it's just like a complete liquid. And
Yeah.
the reason, like we said, we love this food processor as well is because it's glass, so we cut down on our
Plastics.
microplastic contamination.
Which is never a bad thing in this day and age. Look at that.
Get that cleaned out. It's incredible.
Right, I'll take that.
Okay. And I'll start to
Yeah,
incorporate.
Start folding.
So like yesterday, it was the same consistency. So then we never even thought like, oh, we need to add more coconut milk because
You see how wet it is? We
It's
thought it
so
would be
wet.
overkill. I mean, that looks even wetter than yesterday. No, that'd be perfect.
no, it's just because we gotta.
Mix
Remember,
it all
cocoa
around.
powder cocoa powder doesn't want to be wet. Like, you know, I don't know. Like cocoa powder just is so hard to incorporate sometimes.
It refuses to be wet.
Yeah.
maybe the difference is you had Michigan zucchini, now you got Indiana.
Maybe,
Just a
yeah.
slight difference.
Cross-border zucchini. There you go, look at that. Perfect.
I mean, look at how much batter this is.
Yeah.
It's an incredible amount of batter that you get from this recipe.
And as Kate said, you could just put that batter straight into a bread tin or a muffin tin. It's pretty versatile, it'll cook and be delicious however it is. But, oh, we have missed one ingredient, Catherine.
Oh, yep. We're gonna add extra chocolate chips to this.
The recipe says 1/4 cup, but when we did it, we wanted more, so we did
yeah,
half
we're
a
gonna
cup.
do half a cup. There wasn't enough chocolate chips per bite for me.
You weren't
with
happy with it, were
a
you?
1/4 cup, so I'm increasing it to a half of a cup.
And the chocolate that we are using is the one that we've used many times on this show. It's just the 100% real chocolate, dairy-free, dark cacao. Very good.
So we're just
Very
folding these
tasty.
in so that it's anywhere. So
Yeah. And then we got these little wee little donut tins. They're like a non-stick carbon.
How much did we pay for those? Like 15 or less?
About $16, I think, for both. And they have obviously the donut mold, and they're just pretty cool. We like the wee little donuts, don't we?
I think this looks even more wet than yesterday.
It does a bit, yeah.
Because yesterday it was like gooping down into it, but it'll be fine. It'll be good.
Oh, it'll be delicious.
And the reason we love this recipe is because we're trying to rewrite the story for donuts, aren't we?
The collective story of donuts.
Supposedly, we've been frying dough for 10,000 years. In the ancient times, when they came out with pottery, they
started frying dough.
They started frying dough, like I guess out of instinct. But so some of them stuck yesterday. So do we want to slightly? Oh, he's going for it.
I'm going for it.
Okay. So they will if. This is non-stick, so they should not stick, and some of ours did not. But if you want to be extra careful to make sure you get all of them out, you can put a little bit of avocado oil. See, that's probably enough in each one. A little bit of avocado in the bowl of each of the donut. Oh, look what you did.
Look what he's done.
Oh, man.
Well, while I'm making a mess of this, tell us more about, carry on with the history, please.
Okay, yeah, so with the creation of pottery, they believe that made way to being able to use oil to fry foods, and that's what started frying dough. However, the donut, as it was originally called, was oil cake or oliekoek by the Dutch. The Dutch made fried dough pastries, and they would incorporate like fruit fillings in them, put nuts on them, cinnamon, nutmegs. No, that was later on. So that the oliekoek from the Dutch in the 17th century, they came over to America then and continued to make the oil cakes. And then the name donut came later. I can't remember exactly why it came about, but I remember by the 18th, 19th century, there was a woman, mother of a sailor, who wanted to start making pastries like this. And her son was the one that was credited with making this shape so that you get an even cooked pastry. Because you know, when you're frying the dough and it's a whole thing, the middle can sometimes maybe potentially not cook as thoroughly. So by adding the hole in the middle and then frying the dough, then they were able to get a more evenly cooked, what now is known as the donut. So to us, donut is based on the shape, not the actual process of frying dough. And we want to rewrite this story as the shape being what defines a donut, because now, although we have been frying dough for 10,000 years,
we've realized it's probably not good for us,
there's been links to deep frying food, to heart problems, and to unexpected weight gain, into it has carcinogenic properties fried food does. And so we have to consider, maybe we need to cut down on, that was doughy.
It'll be alright.
there was like one pocket. Okay. So it was a bit, so maybe we should try to slowly but surely have less fried foods and more just baked goods like this.
Yeah, and when you try these, you'll be like, holy...
How is there so many pockets of... I really thought I mixed that well. Yeah,
right.
Do an extra mixing of that. And as you notice, Joshua is doing...
I've gradually got more and more in
an
there.
okay job. He's doing...
I tell you what...
He's doing his best, but what we're trying to do here is only fill the donut mold halfway, because these are really gonna rise. And when they rise, they go above the lip, and then they're kind of harder to take out. So like some of these that he's filled all the way to the brim.
Can I take some out then? Can I take some out?
If you want to.
Sure, I'll do that.
So the more that you put over the brim, the more it's gonna expand. And we're going to show you then what that looks like.
I wonder if you could use what do you call it? Is it a baster where you get a turkey and pull the juice out? Something like that?
Yeah, or the pipette things. Yeah,
right.
The frosting pipettes. That would be pretty efficient for this as well, because we are honestly making a mess. I would prefer if we rinsed off the sides.
try like a Ziploc baggie, fill it up, cut a hole in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could
that
do
would
that
probably
too. There you
be
go,
better.
then.
Okay, well, I want to try to clean
Yeah,
up
go
the
on.
sides a bit, but we can get these in the oven. So we'll cook these in the oven for 20 minutes. And that was
What, 3?
at 350. And that was perfect timing. Yesterday was 20 minutes.
Yeah. All right, I'll take
So-
that one in.
Okay. Let's get
Oh, I'll do
some,
them at the same time.
get some soap
Clean
on.
that up.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to give this a quick... They smell really good.
Clean up my messes, he
You guys
says.
gonna make one more so we have a baker's dozen?
Oh, yeah, 13, yeah. We'll have to get another tray.
I'm just joking.
Oh, what are we going to do with all that? I mean, this makes a lot of donuts.
I was thinking that we could just put it into the muffin tins if we wanted to.
Yeah, okay. Well, just put it, set it to the side and we'll do that after that hasn't... Bam! How long, buddy? 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes, please.
20 minutes on the clock.
Okay.
Right, we're going
It
to
says
move...
20 minutes.
Yes. So you put them in for 20 minutes,
I'm
and
going to move this over here.
just like just when you bake anything, you put a toothpick in it, and then if the toothpick comes out clean, you know they're done. So yesterday, 20 minutes in my oven, the toothpick came out clean. And then they look like this. Look how
That was
cute.
over 20 minutes.
That was a
That
fast
was
20 minutes.
the fastest
Robert.
20
We
minutes
spent
in my
time.
life. So the ones that you fill a bit less end up looking like this little wee one. And see, you get the traditional donut shape on this side, but the ones you overfill look like a muffin on the bottom.
It's like a donut muffin.
So like that's the top, and then that's the bottom of the mold. So
Josh is telling herself.
yeah, they look like little like bundt cakes as well. I think they're just so fluffy and airy. It's so delicious. And so to take it to the next level, what you can do is you can melt some extra chocolate and drizzle it over the top. So we've got some of that extra chocolate we have here, and we're just gonna drizzle
Oh,
it.
yes.
It's not. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to burn you, honey.
I know, but you did.
Oh,
Look at that.
so that just, I mean, that for dessert. Does that look like it had carrots, spinach, and zucchini in it?
No, we can't tell.
No, not
you will
even
not taste it.
close.
They are honestly so delicious.
You don't taste it at all.
I think we're going to have to eat one. Live.
So you could wait till the chocolate so you want to let these cool completely before you drizzle the chocolate on, and you could take the time to let the chocolate harden before you serve them, or you could just eat it with soft chocolate. I'm sure that would be fine as well.
I'm sure no one's going to be complaining.
No.
That
Ooh,
is a
see, some fell into the hole
That's a
there.
healthy amount of chocolate on that.
I know. Well, drizzling isn't coming to me that well right now.
You got to do more flick it to your wrist.
Okay, you try.
There you go.
that.
There, look. See,
Oh, okay,
look.
all
It's
right,
all in the wrist,
You
honey.
You try. Maybe you're more of a drizzler than a cake filler, mold filler. Yeah, that one's got an extra amount of chocolate on it. But by the time that the chocolate, ooh, yeah, you're right. You got more of the pizzazz.
You got more swaz in there.
So as you notice, there are only 9 here because 3 of them, 3 of them got stuck in the mold and just separated completely. So we lost.
Well, I wouldn't
3
say
of
they
them,
got
but-
stuck in the mold. They just
No, they did.
The little tops just broke off.
Yeah.
They got stuck in your gut, huh?
They fell into my mouth, and there was
Yeah.
nothing I could do. I had to test the product.
And they smelled so good that our dog wanted to eat them, and we were like,
Oh,
no, you
yeah.
cannot have them.
Would you
Oh, yeah.
look at that?
Did we put a timer in?
Yeah, I've
Joshua
got it.
has it on his watch. So here you go, Kevin. You want to zoom in on that?
Professional.
Look how cute
Look
those
at that.
are.
Adorable.
Let's cut one open, Catherine.
Okay.
And you can see how spongy they are.
And as they rested over time, they got darker in color. So it's kind of light here,
Look at-
but when you look at the bottom, it's nice and dark.
Did you guys make them this morning or last night?
Yesterday.
Last night, so they are
Good.
I
still
mean, look how
fresh.
spongy that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
A friend of mine was telling me baking
Awesome.
cakes, which the donut would be the same thing, is, you know how you were talking about sticking a toothpick in there?
Yeah.
If you barely have some on the toothpick, shut it off and your cake will be extra moist. So
That
you
makes
don't-
sense. dry it out, and then it's spongier. Yeah. So that doesn't taste like, in my opinion, a traditional donut, but I'm happy about that.
It's delicious though.
When I eat donuts, I feel like my brain cells like slow down, my body slows down. I don't feel
They're
good.
heavy, yeah.
Like I can tell because I
feel
don't.
sluggish.
Yeah, I feel
Whereas
sluggish.
those,
I know what
you could be. I'm gonna eat at least 3. I think.
You could eat those for breakfast. You could eat those after lunch. You can eat
Can
those
I?
for dessert.
And
They're
they
kind of
look
like
really good.
a treat that you can have any time of the day. And the original inspiration for this was a father whose kid said, "I want a donut." And he's like, "How do I make a healthy donut for my children?"
And this is what he came
And
up
this is
with.
what he came up with.
I mean,
And
I quite
I'm just
like
so
it.
grateful.
I quite like that it's got a filled hole at the bottom. You should probably get more chocolate in there.
Yeah, I agree. So like with the filled hole, you could just like pour chocolate in there.
Or chocolate or a sauce or a jam.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
like a sweet. So
I think that's better than the whole
there's so
hole.
many ways to customize this recipe and make it your own.
But
And
they're soft, light, very Moorish, and
Very
they're
delicious.
delicious. And we know, I've seen all the ingredients that went in there, that they've got, obviously again, it's the same thing as that you're not going to want to eat 12 of these a day every single day, because
No.
it does have sugar in, it does have the fat in from the avocado oil, but as a dessert, there's also a lot of health benefits in there. So we really encourage you to try these. I'm very excited to eat more of them. Catherine, thank you for bringing the recipe to us and cooking it with me today. I've enjoyed the show. Any final words before we sign off? Let's eat more donuts.
yeah,
Make
we're covered.
donuts
We're
great
covered
again.
in chocolate. Let's rewrite the history of donuts.
All right.
Let's write a new future for donuts
Perfect.
with this recipe.
Thank you, everybody. This
Thank
recipe
you.
is available on our website, and we appreciate you watching it. Much love. Peace.
Thank you guys.
Thank you to all of our show sponsors and supporters who make this show possible. The Healthcare Foundation of LaPorte, Grace Learning Centre, Citizens Concerned for the Homeless, and ALCO, Access LaPorte County. We appreciate all of your support.